There's flooding. This More Perfect Union video just came out yesterday, the day before, and it's really good.
Driving up and down these roads is so sad, you know, to see the magnitude of how many people lost everything.
Also, as a former California resident, I took nationalized electricity for granted after moving here to Texas. I frequently get blackouts and several brownouts every year for private sector electricity. Be happy, Californians. That's crazy. I think I've experienced one blackout ever in my life, and it was in New York during the like really big blackout in 2003. And that's the only time. And I remember like the whipping out the candles and everything. And that's it. That's the only time in the United States that I have experienced a blackout, which is crazy.
The needs are astronomical. There's people that's literally sleeping in their yards.
What's your typical day-to-day been like?
Chaos times 1,000.
Texas resident 3-day blackout several years in a row when temperatures were 14 degrees. My fucking God. There's just... Before I press play on the video, I really want to say something quickly. There's like a microcosm of this issue with like trash in New York, where New York has like these like cycles of there's too much trash in the streets. We're not doing anything. Fund sanitation. And then sanitation's funded. And then they're like, what the fuck? Why is so much money going to sanitation? Defund sanitation. And then there's trash in the streets again. Because you don't notice where the money's going until it's not there anymore. I saw, oh, do I want to get myself involved in even more beef? Sometimes I forget that I'm not like a small creator anymore. So like, when I say stuff, people might see them. I kind of miss being able to yap with my chat without it becoming internet beef or whatever. But this tweet almost sent me, and it's fucking ridiculousness. It was okay, well maybe someone else has it. There was a Michaela tweet that was like, Tyler 1 is a millionaire and the sidewalks are still broken even though we pay taxes. This is how you know taxes are a scam. Yes, here it is, Sean. If Tyler is a millionaire paying taxes and the sidewalk directly in front of his house hasn't been fixed in a year, I'm supposed to believe that taxation isn't bad. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm sorry, dude. I fucking All right, sorry. I just thought it was a funny tweet. I thought we could all laugh about it together, okay? It's that you don't see where the money goes. That's it. That's the problem. You only notice where your money goes once your money's no longer going there. I do, Israel. I shouldn't laugh. Stop. No, dude. Fuck. Anyways, yeah, it's a lot of these red states and a lot of the people that voted for Trump do not realize how hard they just fucked themselves. If you live in a blue state or a blue city, there's a good chance that your life won't change that much, even under Trump. Some of it might change, and the country is definitely still going to continue going to shit. But your life won't change that much because a lot of the stuff is going to be state run. Your local politicians matter a lot more than your federal fucking politicians. The people in the red states are absolutely, again, I keep saying it, but we're going to see this over and over and over again in different ways over the next 4 years. Like red states are, I don't even mean to be dramatic. They are going to become shitholes. Like a lot of red cities are already kind of shitholes, which is sad. I mean, I've been to a couple. I've done a little bit of road tripping, and some of it is like, some of them are kind of shitholes. Okay. I think it's not mean. I think it's just, it's just true. Okay. But it's because they don't have enough funding and they don't have enough like business in these cities. A lot of these cities that used to be like manufacturing cities, the jobs were absolutely decimated once all of our manufacturing went over to China, and these cities just didn't recover. They just were never able to recover. And our government just didn't do enough to help with any of this, right? And some cities won't even exist anymore after climate change. Like they will become unlivable. But I live in a pro-Trump city. It looks like crap. Yeah. And it's sad too, because there are also a lot of cities that are like gorgeous and amazing in lots of different ways. But it won't be around. I mean, Miami's a good example where Miami is actually very pretty. I mean, I lived in Miami for a year. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty city. There's a lot there. I mean, it's a fucking coastal city. Most coastal cities are very pretty, just innately, right? Maybe I'm a coastal person. I'm biased here. And there's a lot of life in that city. But it's fucked. Like the climate change is going to level Miami. Hurricanes are going to get more and more unstoppable. And from my experience being there during some of the hurricanes in Florida, they're like, they'll be Cat 4 and they'll downgrade to Cat 3. The second that the waters continue to get hotter and the hurricanes continue to get more and more violent and more more and more Cat 5 hurricanes start hitting California, or sorry, not California, Florida. There's not going to be that much left. There's not. Between that and flooding, it's fucking Jover, right? Just sell the homes. Yeah, just sell it to fucking Aquaman. Anyway, sorry. So let's take a look at this more Perfect Union video.
Driving up and down these roads is so sad, to see the magnitude of how many people lost everything.
The needs are astronomical. There's people that's literally sleeping in their yards.
What's your typical day-to-day been like?
Chaos times 1,000.
I don't mean to get emotional and stuff, man, but I've seen a lot here. And it's just, it's just sad.
A few weeks ago, my phone started blowing up. West Virginia, my home state, was underwater. Friends were sending me videos of total devastation. But when I turned on the national news, nothing.
Immigration.
We absolutely have to beg people to pay attention. It's like, look, we're dying. Hey, we're dead now.
This is probably the worst flood that this town has experienced.
And from what I was hearing, the government was nowhere to be found either.
What kind of help are you expecting to get as time goes on?
Well, I don't expect to get anything from the government because they're never here. They never help. Like, I've never got any help. If we want something done, you got to do it by yourself.
FEMA's turned out to be a disaster. I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away.
So I came down here to the southern coalfields, one of the poorest parts of the country, to see for myself. How bad was the destruction? And who, if anyone, is going to show up to help?
Do you feel like Donald Trump's got your back? Have you ever been through a flood like that before?
No, never. We've seen
like
water
this.
get high, but never like this. No. It flipped our lives upside down. Everywhere you looked, it was water, and people's houses underwater, our house underwater, our vehicle underwater. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced or seen. Very scary.
What kind of needs do you have right now, and who's meeting those needs?
Housing is our main need right now.
Because our house was destroyed.
And we've reached out and looked and contacted housing authority, landlords, like just everybody and anybody that we know we've contacted, and they either don't rent, they was affected by the same flood, or they don't have anything open. So we're still staying at the Breeding Church of God shelter, trying to find, a home to take our family to, and it's been a real obstacle.
In the days and weeks after a crisis like this, everyone looks to how the state will respond. West Virginia Governor Morrissey has claimed that the state's response was aggressive and proactive. And by the time we arrived on the scene, 2 weeks after the flooding, Morrissey was saying this.
I'm from West Virginia. So many people work against themselves here, but nobody deserves this. It's like Listen, maybe I'm a little bitch, okay, which I'll bite the bullet on that, I guess. But like, I still feel bad for these people. Like, I do. Like, they have been tricked into thinking that trans people and immigrants are the ones ruining their lives when it's never been that. It's never ever been that. And they in a lot of these areas, in a lot of really poor areas of America, the education there sucks. The education is going to be funded predominantly by the taxes from like property taxes. And if there just isn't that much to tax on these properties, there isn't that much to fund in these schools. So the schools that these kids are going to are like terrible because these teachers are all underpaid. They're all very overworked. Like, they are products of their environment. They were given a shit zip code, and then they were given nothing but fucking Fox News from the cradle. Like, what do you do when someone gets like a shit spawn point and then it's just like, and there's nothing there to help them? This is like a county over from me too. It's so fucked still. And the first thing they did was pump a bunch of cops into the community and started yapping about looting. I will not fed post about cops. 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 I am responsible and I will not fed post about cops. I am responsible. Cops are cops. How lucky we are. Eastern Kentucky, my public high school had like 20-plus-year-old textbooks to work with. When your state is so poor that the government has never done anything for you, why would you ever trust the government? And that's another good point as well, right? Like, these people haven't really, they've gotten so little help from their state government, and it's just kind of hard to get a lot of help from the federal government. What the fuck do you do? Why the fuck would you ever trust the government? And I mean, Democrats have been very bad about messaging and have been very bad about like undoing the idea that they're elitist. Truly, where do we go from here? Truly. Yes. Sorry, I got so fucking sidetracked by that video. It was the Baileys. They told him to do it. Yeah, like okay, listen, okay. If the world's gonna burn, if the country's gonna fucking light on fire and destroy itself, I might as well enjoy the view while it happens, okay? I mean, I'll fight, and we should organize, and we should rally behind the Bernie Sanders, and you should never give up, because only fucking losers give up. I should pull up that Bill Burr clip where Bill Burr talks about how after all the fucking awful, horrid, fucking goddamn forsaken shit that Hitler did, he went out like a fucking coward and killed himself. Like a total fucking loser. And unless you want to be like a total loser, you never give up, no matter what. With that in mind, I'll still listen. If we fight like fuck and we still don't win, at least we get to see one of the worst empires in history burn, and the world might be better off in the long term. You know, I'm a silver lining person. Okay.
This morning, we do not have any outstanding need requests that we're not already working on to address.
Also, Arizona chatters. AOC and Bernie will be in Arizona Thursday the 20th. RSVP here. Yeah. Any Arizona chatters? Any Arizona chatters? If you'd like to RSVP, link in the chat. It's going to be Thursday, March 20th, 5 p.m. at Arizona State University. Sometimes I forget that I'm American, and then I read something like, please note, no bags, signs, or firearms are allowed. And then I'm like, oh yeah.
as of this morning, we do not have any outstanding need requests we're not already working on to address. How's that land with you?
My opinion would be I think he should probably come down and actually see the homes that were destroyed, the people that still can't get out, you know, the bridges that were washed away. There is a need here, and it does get overlooked a lot because we are a small town.
Yeah.
And again, they don't have the funding. Their state doesn't have the funding to help these people. And the federal government, I mean, getting anything from the federal government is already so hard. Because we view our deficit as like, we compare the national deficit to people's wallets when that's not how it should be treated at all. And we pretend, and like, that's not even getting, the second thought video on how GDP is calculated is a very, very good video. But that's not counting the fact that we think of things like healthcare as waste. That we need to cut down on the waste of healthcare. It's like, what the fuck? That this is costing Americans too many dollars. We're keeping our people healthy, and that's too expensive? God damn, dude. It doesn't matter. You don't... Huh? You don't stop paying your electric bill and say, I'm saving so much money now. That's a necessary cost. The government's job is to help the people who fucking live there in the form of taxes. Healthcare is waste. Weapons to Israel, not waste. Make it make sense, dude. Make it make sense. Collapse of U.S. global leadership has arrived. Moment before the fall. There's a moment before the fall, a moment when history slows, when those who can see the truth begin screaming into the void, a moment when an empire stands at the edge of the abyss staring down into the darkness but does nothing to stop the fall. That moment is now. Trump's subtle endorsement of Russia's... Subtle? Can I get hillbilly flair like an XXX jug or something? Uber, please stop sending me Sorry, this is totally unrelated, but I hate that Uber sends me notifications to use their app. Uber, I am not going to use your app except for the moments when I need to use your app. You're not going to convince me, you know what? Suddenly I want to take an Uber somewhere. Stop notifying me. I'm not suddenly in the mood to go for an Uber ride. Please stop sending me notifications. Please. Okay. Sorry. That was just, I just can't believe that app sends you notifications. Okay. On March 14th on Fox News, Sean Hannity turned to Trump's national security advisor, Michael Waltz, and said, I would imagine parts, maybe the Donbass region in particular, or areas that are heavily populated by people from Russia. Holy shit, by the way. That would go to Putin in any negotiated settlement. Am I wrong? That didn't sound like a question. It sounded like a suggestion, a justification disguised as inquiry. I mean, guys, we're at this point where Trump celebrates after killing anti-money laundering law. Like, the corruption in the government's already so fucking bad that, like, we have Supreme Court justices, which, by the way, we all went through the same fucking public school education. We all went through that one U.S. government class where they taught us about fucking checks and balances, and we all learned why Supreme Court justices serve for life. They serve for life to prevent corruption, so that they don't have to vie for their seat and take money to win for re-election. That's why. And guess what? It didn't fucking work. It didn't work, and then we had Clarence Thomas just taking as much money as he wanted and selling his vote anyways. Incredible. And libs still fell for that narrative. Well, I think that was just before the Republican Party realized how OP lying was. Like, I think after, like, Reagan really marks the tipping point for Republicans where they really realized, wait, let's just quadruple down on lying. It's really OP and they can't do anything about it. Perfect. And before that, it was still the case that Republicans believed in the system. And so they didn't actively try and break the system. And then they realized, wait, we can just break the system. We don't have to give a fuck about what this Constitution says. So, yeah, Trump celebrates after killing anti-money laundering law, as if we needed more money laundering, as if bribery wasn't already so fucking terrible in this country. Celebrating his administration's move to ignore a law that targeted money laundering, on Sunday, the Treasury Department announced that it would stop enforcing any penalties or fines associated with beneficial ownership information reporting rule under the existing regulatory deadlines, but it will not further that it would stop enforcing, but it will not further enforce any penalties or fines against U.S. citizens or domestic reporting companies or their beneficial owners after the forthcoming rule changes take effect either. In effect, the government will no longer require shell companies to disclose their owners or beneficiaries, allowing wealthy corporations and individuals to hide their profits from the public. This was part of the Corporate Transparency Act, or CTA, passed in 2021, which required some businesses to report information on people who own or control a company directly or indirectly to the department's Financial Crimes Network. So basically now you can be as sloppy as you want with your money laundering, and it's fine. And it's fine. Okay. Nice. This is good. This is good.
It'd be nice to have somebody that doesn't forget us, but I mean, if we do get forgotten, it's us. We rebuild. We do.
There's been a lot of people in the community that, we don't even know that showed up.
Yeah.
Sticking together, being strong for us and helping us with clothes, with the kids,
We're here at Matoka Outreach, where we've been staging supplies since the flood happened over 2 weeks ago. We've been getting trucks in, getting volunteers in, and we just send it out the door to areas that need it.
Yesterday, we give out our 8,000 cases of.
Yeah, people who think the GOP lying is new. Well, I mean, I'm saying it's been happening for at least 5 decades, at least. And I'm saying that with every year that passes, they get more and more brazen, exponentially more brazen.
Water. We've been doing, on average, 200 food bags a day.
Enjoy, gentlemen. Thank you all for what you're doing. Thank you.
I fired the grills up, told my wife to go get the kids, and food bag across the street got flooded. They gave us the key, and we cooked everything they had in 2 days.
And these are just people, man. There's a really, really good documentary on Roger Stone. Maybe we could watch it on stream. But there's a very good documentary on Roger Stone that really breaks down how Roger Stone's history in politics is so unbelievably offensive, and he played a big factor in the destruction of American politics as is, or as it currently is. And that guy is actually a fucking demon. Is it the Netflix one? I think it's the Netflix one. Have you ever watched the movie Dark Waters about West Virginia population? I don't think so. What was I saying? Yes, right. So maybe we could watch that Roger Stone one, because it's really good. And it talks about how there's prior to the unbelievable lobbying that exists now, prior to when there was a time when lobbying wasn't as nearly as offensive as it is today, when lobbying actually did what people agreed it should do. And at that time, the people in positions of power, they still kind of wanted to care about their constituency or their constituents. And Roger Stone, over the course of his lifespan, that completely went away. And Republicans there is no part of them at all that cares about the people that live here. Zero. None. They gave up on pretending. Because they went from caring to pretending to care to we're not even going to pretend anymore.
As of right now, I think we're at just over 23,000 free meals is what we've done so far.
When something bad happens, you come together. That's the West Virginia way. And we take care of our own.
It's sad is that there's someone jokingly said, you sound like West Virginia FEMA. I'm a guy in a U-Haul, dude. If I'm West Virginia FEMA, that paints the picture of how abysmal the response has been. I just got a call today from someone begging me to come fix their road. I got a call a few days ago, people asking me to come, please help me get out of my house as my wife has dialysis and we need to get her to a hospital, but our road's gone.
Some of these people are up in their 70s, and it's heart-wrenching to see, you know, they're not going to be able to, they can't rebuild, you know, they can't, they might not have family, and it's just tough to see the older generation, and they need help.
When disasters like this hit, do you assume that help is on the way, or is the assumption that you're going to have to do a lot of this on your own? And I'm talking about, you know, the state government, the federal government.
A little bit of both. You know, hoping and having faith in God that there's help on the way, you know, but on the other hand, there's the stress of, you know, knowing that we could easily fall through the cracks and not get any help. So.
If you spend enough time with West Virginians, especially in the poorest parts of the state, you come to learn that the distrust of government is well earned.
Our timber has been taken, our coal has been taken, and you know, the infrastructure has not been built up from the money that has been taken out of here. And I've always been told my whole life that West Virginia was the richest state with the resources, but with the poorest people.
Historically, this has been at or near the top of the most impoverished places in the country. My very first church was in a town called Kermit. Just over 300 people live in Kermit. Over a 3-year period, over 12 million opiate-based painkillers were shipped into that pharmacy in that community.
Look at the situation that we're in. Look at the homeless. Look at the drug addicts walking the road. Look at the nastiness. You know what you're standing in right now? This is sewer. Everything you can think of. That right there, that's all sewer. It comes out, that's sewer. Look, see the blue stuff?
Yeah.
That's toilet paper and shit. Right there.
This was Flint before Flint. You know, bad water since the 80s. This is 2025, so you know what I mean? We're going forward, but we're still stuck in the past.
Neither side, Democrat or Republican, has ever come through for the people here.
What impact does catastrophic flooding have on those challenges that have been here for so long?
It just exponentially adds to them. People are desperate.
Yeah.
People are desperate, and when people become desperate, they sometimes make desperate choices and desperate decisions, and that includes who they vote for.
This state showed up in a big way for Donald Trump in the election. Do you think that he's going to show up for the state?
West Virginia sounds just like a third world country, rich in resources and overexploited by corporations for massive profits. I mean, that's the entirety of fracking in this country. Separate point that's related. It is. Yes, correct. The people who have to work the jobs to exploit the resources for these massive corporations, they make pennies on the dollar. And a lot of times there are procedures like fracking that destroy the place that they live in. So they're generating profit for a company that doesn't care about them. And once there are no more resources, the state just goes to shit. We had our largest earthquake in West Texas recently. We never get earthquakes in the past, but we had a 7.1 hit last month because of fracking.
When it's needed most. Can you talk about that?
I sure hope so. I hope so. I hope he'll show up and give the West Virginians what they need to rebuild.
In the days following the flood, Governor Morrissey requested a major disaster declaration from President Trump. The request would unlock funding from FEMA, funding that could help people rebuild their homes and support efforts to prevent future floods. But here's the thing. Trump is not the biggest fan of FEMA.
FEMA has really let us down, let the country down.
His administration has already started firing hundreds of FEMA staff. And when Trump took a trip down to North Carolina, in the aftermath of Helene, he proposed getting rid of FEMA altogether.
It turns out to be the state that ends up doing the work. It just complicates it. I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away.
There is a state flood protection fund in West Virginia, but the thing about that is it currently has no funding whatsoever.
If you completely burn the system down, and turn it over to the states, as President Trump wants to do, you're in a state where we're reporting a $400 million deficit. Those states cannot afford to help the people like they want to help them.
Did you guys vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I did.
Yeah.
What do you expect from him in this crisis? You know, it's like you said.
Like I just said, it's point blank. Hey, you better have West Virginia's back, because out of all the states, West Virginia had your back. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I don't know much, but like...
It's also why the Department of Environmental Justice is very important. Companies are going to move all of the damaging factories to some of the most vulnerable places. Yeah, and then they pretend... They pretend like, oh, we're just helping open up new jobs for them. We're just helping these people by giving them new jobs. No.
It's kind of black and white there.
People don't have the money.
Dude, Trump doesn't give a fuck
to
about you.
rebuild.
Yeah.
They don't. They need government assistance to help.
Yeah. When it comes to disaster relief like FEMA, do you think we should fund it less, fund it the same, fund it more?
Fund it more. Yes. 4 times like this.
And if you could, you know, speak to him directly as a supporter, what would you want to see happen with FEMA?
Don't cut them completely, because that's the only thing some of these people have. And I just ask him to please show up in West Virginia and show us that you care.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, he doesn't care.
10 days after the floods, President Trump approved the disaster declaration for West Virginia, covering just 4 out of the 13 counties that requested assistance. On our last day of shooting, FEMA opened its first physical location in Mercer County. Time will tell if it comes anywhere close to meeting the need. A big part of Trump's movement was not forgetting about the forgotten places. If he ended up like the rest of everybody that forgot about places like this, where do you go from there? You know, where do you really look to?
Honestly, we always look to us, to each other, because we do get forgotten. It's everybody. We get forgotten about a lot.
Nobody is coming to save us but us. All we have is each other. The beauty of this place is not just the beauty of the scenery, but more so the beauty of the people here. You will not find better people anywhere in the world than right here.
There's so much more here than what people know. It would be great if people could see us for more than just a coal mining community or a rundown town.
This is where I was born and raised. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been. It's the people here would give you the shirt off their back.
It's always been our community. We've never really had a lot of government assistance come in and help us.
Yeah.
We've always just, like we're doing here, we just work together as a community and just keep pushing through and rebuild.
We're not getting any breaks at all. And they're trying to give all the billionaires and rich people breaks. Like, that just don't make sense to me. That's the opposite of what you should be doing.
The billionaires, they don't need a tax break. They got them.
These people are open to voting for other people. These people don't want to vote for Trump. They don't want to vote for the Democratic Party. They want to vote for someone. The reason that a lot of these people, I'm going to talk about the racists, because again, there are a lot of racists in America, and that's why they're voting for Trump. Like the fucking white lady that went on Sam Cedars' Jubilee and was like, I want a national state because white people are that fucking dumb whore. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about these people who the environment around them is literally trying to kill them. It's trying to destroy their livelihood, their house, everything around them, right? She's Canadian. Fucking dude, stop! Canada, stop exporting your fucking morons. Stop. For the love of God. I swear to God, if I find out that one more conservative dipshit is Canadian, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Please, stop exporting them to us. I don't want it. Okay. They're not sending their best, dude. Fucking, they're dumping their trash. They're dumping their trash on us. All right. Sorry. These people whose material conditions are totally fucked, they just want to vote for someone who will care about them and help them. And a lot of these people, they vote for Trump because they have fallen for the propaganda that Trump is an outsider. He's not a traditional politician because he says it like it is, so maybe he won't lie to us. they're going to find out that they're wrong, but you can't judge them for not trusting Democrats because Democrats are too incompetent. Well, no, they're not incompetent. They're evil to do anything that would help the American people. Republicans needed 7, they got 10. Canada sent Pokimane, and then they were like, this one's too nice, let's send only racists from now on. Fucking Christ, yeah. As a Canadian, please take them. They are a drop in the American dipshits, but we are in danger here. Canadians are like, listen, your shit's already fucked, man. All right? We're trying to keep some semblance of democracy here, dude. Come on. You got a whole polluted lake. What's one more fucking drop of pollution? Which I respect, dude. Honestly, that does make sense. That does make sense. You make a good point. It's a valid argument. I forgot what I was saying. 1 second. Please link the video. Oh, yeah. Of course. Usually mods tend to update the ! watching command. So Bimbo Baggins. That's such a good name. How have I never noticed it? I think I've noticed it once, and then I forgot about it. Thank you for the 6 months. Sorry, back on topic. They just want to vote for someone who cares about them. That's it. They were already in agreement that these rich fucks, these billionaires, have too much fucking money. They don't need all this fucking money. Like, literally 1% of Elon Musk's wealth would change this woman's life forever. It'd probably change this, like, the life of, like, half the people in this fucking city. The whole town. They don't need it. They just don't fucking need it. Sorry, I just realized, yeah, 1% is $4 billion. That would be the whole fucking town. Sorry. And the thing is, okay, well, let's look at this ethically, guys. How did they obtain it? By exploiting all of these people. And what do they get? Nothing. They get nothing in return. 4 billion is a small country's GDP. But that's why we need well, I think we need a lot of things. I was trying to think of how to break it down. Then I was like, no, wait, no, we also need that and that and that and that. Maybe I'm a little black-pilled on the Democrats, but I don't think that party is going to win anymore. I think that the only way that we can fix this country is like bordering on starting from scratch on parties.
Money. It's us small people that make America what it is that needs the help.
It's a horrifying experience, and I hope nobody ever has to experience going through a natural disaster and losing everything that they own. And God bless the ones that has.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. To get more and more Perfect Union in your feed, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. If you have ideas for stories.
What a good, dude, More Perfect Union, they do so much amazing work. They really do. Please, like the videos and comment and stuff.